Presented by That Time I Got Reincarnated in the Same World as an Anime Podcaster, this is Shonen Jumping the Gun, the show where we set our sights on the first chapter of a manga and decide if it's a misfire or a bullseye.
Let's see how many rounds are in this magazine.
On today's episode, Beauty and the Beast Girl. Welcome, everybody. I am your blind baker, Moxie the Yeen, here with my half-beast, half-man, all-co-host, Isekai Sensei-Sama Brad. Brad, how you doing?
Sorry, I had a little fire in my throat.
That was the little beast. And today we are covering. We are further along the Beast arc of manga that have the word Beast in the title. And admittedly, today is a webcomic novel? Question mark.
Did you not look into this at all?
No, I did when I did the research, but I didn't know that when I picked it. Today might be a little thinner, a little shorter.
So peek behind the curtain. Because I don't think we mentioned this yet, but we literally just looked up Beast on a couple different manga sites.
Yes.
And found
this came up and
series that had Beast in the title.
I wanted something that was even more directly Beauty and the Beast than the last one we covered.
So we found this one, and we just picked it based on the name, and the art looked normal.
Yeah.
And then we went and read it, and it's like, this is...
We kept it. We did it.
Yeah.
We could have, I've pivoted before. It's not JoJo January. I can pivot.
I think the key here is that it seemed interesting.
Yes. It wasn't a total amateur, because that was the thing that was interesting. Let me get through the information-y bit, and we can continue to dig into that bit. But this is, Beauty and the Beast Girl is a webcomic by Neji. I think it's just an online handle.
I think Neji's dead, isn't he?
Bound into one volume. We're covering the first 6 chapters, which are only like 10 to 12 pages, if that. But I think when I was Googling for it, the Wikipedia or whatever's reading said this was originally posted page by page on their Pixiv account, which is an image sharing site that's used a lot in Asian countries.
Yeah, because when I was first reading it, I was like, oh, this looks like a webcomic, but there's something about it that seems a little different. This totally looks like a Pixiv or Twitter comic.
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, they look slightly different than just normal webcomics.
You've read enough of that stuff that you can... I don't have that discerning eye with that stuff because I haven't really read a lot
there's
of that.
There's a couple that I'm...
Oh, I'm sure there's some good stuff in there. You know what's also a webcomic is freaking... what is it called? It's not just Scoob, right? What is the...
Shag and Scoob.
Shag and Scoob. There we go. Like, that's a good time. Are they updated? Are they dead?
No, a new chapter came out. It might have been a couple months ago, but
okay, I haven't looked in a long time, but I don't remember if I got notifications for that.
That's a shout out to all our Shonen Flop listeners.
Yeah. Also, we can just cover it at some point. It's a good time.
I haven't read it yet.
Oh, then we'll read all of it. It won't take you that long, and I think that I genuinely think there's a conversation to have about that. It's not in a Shonen jumping the gun sense, but in just a generally like that and Shonen storytelling tropes and how it captures that. Whatever. I'm getting distracted. Let's get ready for my patented Moxie's Mock Speed manga summary. We meet our titular scary Beast Girl living in the woods, alone. She's used to it, life unchanging without interference. One day, she unexpectedly happens upon a human girl in the woods. This shouldn't be possible, she thinks. Should I scare her or try to befriend her? The girl speaks up in the silence. Am I not supposed to be here? The girl is blind. Our beast responds with a lie, that they are a traveler, their first lie. The girl tells us it's her dream to travel the world and sightsee despite her blindness. She's staying nearby and asks for a story from the beast's journey. She's so cute, how could she say no? They will meet at this flower garden tomorrow. Chapter 2. It's tomorrow. Our beast, with social awkwardness, talks to the girl. We learn her name is Lily Blind, which seems kind of offensive. The beast says she doesn't have a name. No one has ever called out to her, so it wasn't needed. So call me whatever. Lily decides to call her Heath after a flower in her hometown because they met in a garden. Is Heath a flower name?
Heather.
Oh. Do you think that's a weird translation localization thing?
Yeah.
In the same way that selfie was that? I should have talked about that in that episode and not this episode. Heath agrees, internally overjoyed to have a name, even if it is a male name with her lower voice. Cute flower treats are offered.
By the way, it's very obvious that she's femme presenting. Just so everybody knows.
Yes, visually speaking, yes. Cute flower treats are offered. The girl is bad at many things, but cooking is her specialty. I don't know how you cook when you cannot see. That seems dangerous.
Blind people cook. I mean, yeah, it does seem dangerous,
curious,
but
I don't know how I would do.
It is a thing.
I'm sure they can do it. Just I was surprised, especially when she's not home. Lily asks for stories of the places the Beast has visited, but she's never actually traveled anywhere. So, a story I read, I'll steal it. No one will ever know. Chapter 3, Beast's Nightmare, a burning city. Monster, kill it. Please, don't come near me. She awakes. She was so overcome with loneliness that she just couldn't help going into the city. To the humans, she's a monster. But to the monster, she's a failure. She's a half-beast. If they will not accept her, she will keep them out. Chapter 4. Their friendship continues for multiple encounters. The books Heath gets are stories from an abandoned house. They are for adults, so Lily never read them. The guilt of it is building in Heath, but she continues because it's what she's always wanted. It's been a while. Time for Lily to leave. But she's got shaky legs. Can you help me up? Our Beast can't touch her with her scaly claw hands, so she wears a glove. Lily questions the glove, and a quick lie of dirty hands is thrown out. The Beast can feel Lily's warmth through the gloves, but vows one day to touch her directly. But is that too greedy an ask? Chapter 5. Lily is very clearly on our Beast's mind. She wants to see her again, but how long can this last? Lily is only visiting. At some point she'll leave. Later they visit in the garden, but it's raining this time. Lily, you're all soaked. You can't stay out here like this. Come to my house, he says. Lily has something to say. The thought of what it is stresses out the Beast. Lily is leaving. Heath has to say how she feels, but struggles until finally she blurts out, Lily, I love you. It all comes pouring out about how much she cares and doesn't want to lose her, but can't keep her here, so please visit if you come back. Lily said she never said she'd leave, though. She came to this town to cure her eyes. She acquired it when she was young. When she was in the womb, the town they lived in caught fire by some monster, so she was told. Her mother inhaled the smoke, and that maybe is what caused her blindness, but there's an amazing doctor nearby who might be able to help her. Hopefully the next time they meet, she can see Heath's face. What have I done, says the Beast as she sobs. End of chapter 6.
So there's a key part here that I just wanted to point out, just in case it wasn't clear in the summary. Chapter 3, I believe it was, where Heath is remembering the time that she attacked, I guess.
Yeah,
a village.
It's unclear, so I didn't really know how to capture it in the summary.
It's
I guess I'm happy we're talking about it here.
It's made pretty clear in chapter 6 that that's the town. Like, she attacked Lily's town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can piece that together. I mean, yeah, I guess maybe for my summary you couldn't piece that together, but...
So we specifically chose...
It's not 100%, but it's like very heavily, clearly, it's the tragedy of it.
Right. So we specifically chose the first 6 chapters, partially because of length, because they're very, very short.
Very short.
But also because at the end of chapter 6 is like, oh, this is a big
It captures
reveal.
the idea, and yeah.
So you get an idea of like the drama that is occurring. Because before that, it's just like, oh, they're just meeting and talking.
Yeah, there's not straight up tragedy, but there's the mini tragedy of like, I'm a beast, who could ever love me thing. I mean, for a little webcomic, like, I enjoyed this. I thought it was cute. I was emotionally brought into the story. I like the pacing of it is kind of at the exact speed it needs to be, and especially if I was reading this chapter by chapter on like a weekly basis, like that would just be a nice little like, oh, I've woken up in the morning and I'm going to read my pages.
It's so simple
to
get through.
Simple.
So,
but it's pleasant, but it, like I said, like I love, maybe love isn't the right word, but like the ending tragedy, and like, I don't know, I feel like in a work that I wasn't as on board of, if that was like you caused this, like that would have frustrated with me with just being too cutely packed together. But I think just because I was brought in emotionally on this, that I was just like, that is like I felt the tragedy of it.
No, yeah, it was good that they sort of
and they waited
for that to like, and they planted some seeds, and then you get that reveal, and it's like, Yeah, this is good storytelling.
But yeah, and like the genuine pining our beast has for Lily and all of that.
Although this is also one of those situations where it's like, this is the first person you've talked to for real. Like, are you just falling in love because this is the first time you've been shown kindness? Which is always the danger in a lot of these kind of things.
I mean, maybe it's just because I like this one of the counterpoint of like, she is blind, so she cannot see that the beast is a beast, which admittedly the beast design isn't that like scary, but that's just art.
She's I don't think this was mentioned in the summary. She's like some kind of dragon girl thing.
I didn't read that, but I guess that makes sense.
We specifically called out scaly skin.
Yes, there are scaly.
And she's got a big old tail.
Yeah,
a big, real thick tail.
Slow down, mister.
And big claw hands.
Big mangy claws.
I think she's got sharp teeth.
She's got something on her head.
But she's got like normal hair, but then she's got like the pointy off the top of the head.
I guess
ears.
they're kind of dragony. That would explain the fire now that you say that.
I think she's got horns too.
That sounds right. I feel like this one's, I mean, I guess it's the same as it, literally just that I liked it, so I'm more keen. Like, you are right.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, glass houses. Glass houses. I'm going to try for a moment, but you're right. I mean, yes, but like literally, like the other one has it, like the other one, the girl from Sacrificial Princess literally just was in her household where her parents got rid of her. And then she's with the king.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very point to point. But it's like the beast has attempted, because what the story of the nightmare is that she was just like, I'm so sick, like I know it's not going to go well, but I'm so sick of being lonely, I'm going to go into town. That's how I read that, and I thought that's what she said, but I could be wrong.
Maybe I don't know.
I don't know if that was stated or that was just my read on it, but I could have sworn that was stated.
It could be. I read this one like last week. So
yeah, I mean it's a short little webcomic because I was like, how many chapters should we do? But like, maybe that feels just like a little differently. But there is, to an extent, like having kindness put on you will make you feel like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's different.
There's not as much of a power imbalance as well, and it's not so just like...
Well, that's the key. That's the key thing, because in this instance, the person who has never been shown kindness is in a situation of power. Not emotional power, but physical power. Where in the other one, the person who had never been, in the previous one, Sacrificial Princess, the one who had never been shown kindness is lacking in physical power, but I guess I would say is in the position of emotional power. So it is different in that way.
Yeah.
It's just,
and I think there's also it's smaller,
it's close
just like
enough that I was like, I see a parallel here.
That's genuine. That's justified. I think just because maybe the scale's a little bit smaller, doesn't feel as, and also just like I like the relationship a little bit more because it feels like it grows, and that like you get, because you get the inside of the monster girl's thoughts, like you can feel her pining, and I'm like, I felt those feelings before, like I get that, and that feeling of like this isn't gonna work, but I still feel these things. It's like I get that.
Yeah,
I feel that.
Stay tuned for next week when the power balance is
we have a very
more equal,
where it's actually complicated, where it's truly in a different way is very complicated. And we're going to have some feelings that are affected by our other feelings about how we enjoyed or didn't enjoy it. And glass houses will be shattered constantly with rocks thrown at me. Very short little thing. Like, this was... I had a good, like, I felt like it was a small thing that was just made that I emotionally resonated with, and I will probably keep reading it. I think there's only like a volume worth of it, but I don't know if that's like because it's not that long running or if it's already done. I don't know. But I would read more of this. You could probably read this whole thing in an hour. Yeah, I could see that. I don't know if you'd want to, because that might ruin it. You got to finish it at some point. But yeah, the chapters are like between 6 and 10 pages, and there's not a ton of dialogue. No, but it's just it's very pleasant. Yeah. It's just very pleasant, and I enjoy it. And I guess like where it's going to go is going forward, like, I would hope that she gets her eyes fixed enough that she could see the beast and they come to terms with that, and like... Or she comes back and she's like, I decided I didn't need to see. I decided I'm uber racist and I can see and I hate you now.
It might be like, oh, the doctor tried, they couldn't do it.
Maybe, I don't know.
But I love you too. I'll stay
no,
here.
no. The doctor can't do it, and then the beast tells her that she is a beast.
Oh yeah, she has to confess.
Yeah. So even though she doesn't, the ultimatum of that she can see and the cat's out of the bag, she will let the cat out of the bag herself, which I think is. Yeah, like even if we can predict what happens next, I still want to read it because I'm curious. Like it just feels I want to emotionally finish this story.
Or she eats Lily and moves on to a different town.
No. No. Wrong. Bad. No. But yeah.
No,
Beauty and the
not
Beast.
eats in that way.
What? Vor. Yes. No. Yes. In there and then out of there. Not to this one. This one's too sweet and tragic to put that smut on it. There'll be enough time for smut next episode.
I'll do that anywhere.
Gross. I like the art. The art gets the job done. It's nice. It's pleasant.
Yeah.
Like it's just like I. Do you have any other thoughts before we go into ending feelings? Because I feel like that's where my thought process is. Because
I think the art is important to point out. There is some simplicity to it. You can definitely tell that it's completely digital and definitely like a web centric thing. It does that thing where like the lines seem too thin.
Oh.
I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but like the web only stuff does that. And I don't know why that happens, but especially with the Pixiv Twitter fan box, whatever the heck ones, they tend to have these thinner lines. So
interesting. I wonder if that's just what the artists are doing, or it's some sort of resolution, something or other on the uploads.
I think it's probably due to a resolution thing, but I haven't looked into it. But yeah, the art is it's not great, but it's not bad at all.
Yeah. Thoughts, thinky thinks, feely feels, your obs and your sobs.
Yeah. For my thinky thinks, I'm going to go with good. So I think that, just given what it is and the medium and everything, like there's a lot of good points about it, but it doesn't stray into the realm of like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. You have to go read this now or something.
As far as feelings, I'll say great. I'll say great.
Okay.
It made me feel the correct feels.
That's a valid point. My thinky thinks and feely feels in alignment of good, but I'm giving it a special blue ribbon that says the word very pleasant on it. It needs this. I don't think it's great, but like I'm excited to go back to it. It's doing the things it's doing very nicely. It's cozy, it's tragic. It's not too much of either of those things to feel like they can kind of coexist. So that's why it's getting, maybe it doesn't say pleasant on the ribbon because that feels a little insulting, but like it's getting a genuine little special blue ribbon at the fair. Not just for showing up, but just because like you were special and I enjoyed you and you deserve an extra outside of the normal curriculum
special
award.
Mention.
Yes, exactly. You deserve to be paid attention to. Would you buy this? Also does not help. I mean, I think it's collected in a volume, but does not help that you could literally, even outside of a subscription service, you could literally go online and go read this for nothing now.
I'm going to say no.
Yep, I'm in agreement. But I want to finish it. But I wouldn't want to keep this. I wouldn't want to go through that much effort. I'm not like dying out of like, I need to know what happens. Like, it's not curiosity more than just an emotional feeling of wanting to put it to bed in a good way. Respectfully.
Would you buy? No. Respectfully.
But I will certainly finish reading it. Mm. Yeah.
So just in case this sounds a little weird, we are interjecting this. This is a follow-up.
This is from the future, but not the actual future.
Same night.
I haven't left my seat since we recorded the episode you're listening to.
Moxie forgot what they wanted to say.
I had a really important thing I wanted to bring up about Beauty and the Beast Girl, so we're having this discussion in the middle of this. it's hard not to read this to an extent as a trans allegory. I don't think that's its intention, but I think, I mean, any beast story, it can be easy to do that. Especially like the whole idea of like, my voice is kind of low and being named Heath. It just like, it's hard not to, I don't know.
No, I can definitely see it.
My own baggage in it. But I do not think that was the intention of the author, but it's hard. It's when you've got the hammer, you find nails.
I don't think it is meant to be that, only because like it's not like they were a human and transformed into the monster.
No, but
at least as far as we know.
That's not always how allegories work.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's the intention of the author. I think it's just it's easy to read into that.
But it is a monster who is definitely female, I guess would be the correct word there. Like
they're half, yeah.
As far as we know, they identify
like,
as female and have female traits.
Yes, but they don't. I mean, I don't know. Like voice and certain discernible things of like, oh, if you had eyes, you could clock me.
Yeah.
Which admittedly, Lily is clocking her as him.
Because they say specifically when she's like, Heath, oh, that's a male name.
Yeah,
but
I have a lower
because I have a lower voice. So they're specifically calling that out as like, that's not what I should be called because I'm female, basically. But
yeah. I don't know. It just like that
non-traditional features.
That in particular, not that like your voice timbre is necessary to it, but just the concept of like that, the concept of like don't see my form. I'm figuring stuff out. Like again, not the intention of the author. This is my baggage I'm bringing into it. But like that was something that came to mind, especially after the voice line as I was reading it.
Mm-hmm.
And that feeling of like, I can't go on to Populous. I'm worried that something is going to happen to me. And admittedly, it's not breathing fire, though I'm sure a lot of trans people would love that ability. But I don't know. Like, I just...
Can you get that gender-affirming surgery?
I got the cool flame sacs in my throat that spit gas, and then I have the igniter in my uvula, and then... give it time.
We did already cover Rory Dragon. But just, I had an emotional enough connection to reading it, and that popped into my head both while reading it and then us talking about it, and just I think there was just not a place to put it, and then it slipped my mind until later. So I thought it was meaningful and important enough to me that I wanted to make sure we went back and I put in that bit into the episode instead of just sending it out of the world without that. Yeah. Again,
don't think that's the author's intention at all, but just my particular reading on it. I like it in a good way.
I can definitely see it, and I think there's probably enough there that it's like an important conversation to have surrounding that series. So
yeah, and maybe I don't know if there'll be more or less of it going forward that you could hang things on again, whether intentional or otherwise, probably unintentionally, but like it just felt like enough of like I don't know. It's easy to read into. It's easy to read into like beasts don't look upon my form as gender and body dysmorphia. So
but there's the other thing which I don't think we mentioned at all, which is like this is obviously going for a lesbian relationship.
Oh yes, that's yeah.
Which is obvious from what we said, but like we didn't actually call it out. So
yes, no, 100%. This is girls, but like I mean, again, there's a lot of this is my own baggage, but like the concept of like I am half person, half beast, like I don't belong anywhere necessarily, but I'm trying to figure this out. Like again, things to hang things on, not the intended thing to be hung on them, but it was what I saw in my reading and wanted to talk about that because it's my fucking podcast and that's what I want to talk about. So, thank you for listening, everybody. Now back to past. Brad and Moxie instead of past future past
40 minutes ago.
Yes. But anyway.
So this is not our last episode of the Beast arc.
No.
However, given the nature of what this was, it was shorter.
Yes.
And our last episode, given the nature of what it is going to be longer. So I think...
Do you want to talk about the Beast arc now?
I think we should talk about the Beast arc now.
Yeah. The next one is technically... Because we originally planned it was these 5. And the last one was like...
The last one's going to be a bonus.
The last one was a bonus for mommy.
Oh, my.
Ah, yes. The sloppy bitch juice, it's mine.
So, ranking.
So we had Beast Children. We had...
Beast Stars.
Beast Stars. We had... Well, no, because before...
Oh, yeah. Beast Tamer Saint.
Beast Tamer Saint.
Then Beast Stars.
Then Beast Stars. Then Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts. This was Beauty and the Beast Girl. And then technically the
Spoilers, the next one is...
Wizards of Beast... Wise Beasts of Wizard... I don't know!
you have it on your tablet.
I'm not looking at it. It hasn't happened yet. You don't know the name. You can't find it by Googling the start of my sentence. It's spelled funny.
I've been calling it Wise Beast because that's easy to say.
Boys. It's boys. That's what it is. It's boys.
Okay.
Yes, ranking.
So,
have as opposed to the last two arcs where we could learn things, the thing I learned is I learned nothing. Well, I learned I like having these arcs that don't conform to a genre. And admittedly, they kind of conform to romance to an extent by virtue of what Beast usually gets involved with. But, like, I really loved the random shotgun approach of this.
Yeah.
And I kind of, like, I don't think I would necessarily do by a word again, but I would definitely do another, like, attempt to find I would do another gimmick art shotgun approach of like weird odds and ends that I wouldn't have like. I don't think we would have ever happened upon the last one that I can't remember. They're like Wise Wizard Beast Boys.
Yeah.
Without Googling that and going, oh hey. What's at the okay? So I guess if I'm not counting that because it hasn't happened yet, but we can put the cherry on top then that episode. Starting from
I was gonna count it.
Okay.
And there's going to be a little bit of spoilers.
No, I don't want to... Don't tell me what you think. I want to know later when we talk about it. You can save that as the cherry that gets put wherever you put the cherry on a sundae, sometimes in the middle of it. Beastars is at the top for me because I've got Future Vision. I love Beastars. I've got 4 more. Beauty and the Beast Girl. Beast Tamer. Beast Children. Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts. Yeah, no, I'm gonna leave it like how I was feeling when I started reading Beast Children, even though I fell off the wagon.
Okay.
I'm
doing Beast Tamer Saint at the top.
Okay. Yep. Nope. That you brought that to me. You knew about it. You liked it.
You should really listen to the next episode.
It's gonna be the best one.
So, yeah, what do I want?
Because what? That's the only one. I mean, much to my like, I've seen or read a bunch of Beast Stars. Beast Tamer is the one that you've taken in a lot of.
I think next I'm gonna do Sacrificial Princess.
Oh, yeah, that's your lane. That's your kingdom.
And then Beast Children.
Wow, rude.
Yeah. I haven't. The caveat here is I haven't read the rest of Beast Children yet. So,
I mean, even outside of that,
Chapter 1.
You were intrigued by Beast Stars.
Beast Stars is next.
Yeah,
and then this one.
Wow, really?
But
we have like almost like diametrically opposed.
It was pretty close.
These are almost reversed.
I was debating whether I should put Beast Stars last.
You can do that. I've already been.
I'm not gonna though, and
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be mean to this other one you like.
I do think I'm ahead on Beast Stars over this one, but the point here is that I didn't dislike any of these. So as far as rankings are concerned,
everything's an ice cream flavor. Nothing's my. This is my favorite trip to the DMV, which is always a hellscape.
Very different from the sports arc where there were a couple, especially one where I was like, I hate this.
Actively don't want anything to do with. So, Beast arc, good.
Yeah,
Beast arc, solid.
Who would have thought?
Who would have guessed the stupid idea you had? That was the best idea. Also, I knew it was stupid and the best when you said it. What put it in your head, I could not tell you.
Well, we also didn't realize that it was going to turn into a furry romance arc.
Furry romance arc was not the intention. It was just a funny get. Because, I mean, because I already talked about wanting to cover Beast Stars.
Right.
But that was more of just floating in the ether of, it was still in my head from romance arc, but that was, as you said that idea before, I was like, well, the Beast Stars goes in it.
Yeah.
And we saved Beast Complex for a time in the future because that felt like it was cheating to do Beast Complex after Beast Stars. But we will cover it at some point because I want an excuse to read it. And you'll have to listen to the next episode to see where the wizard boys go.
You can probably guess.
Oh, I don't know. That's why I'm really curious about it. That's why I didn't want you to tell me now, because I want to know. Speaking of which, let's get to that. So thank you for listening, everybody, to this episode on Beauty and the Beast Girl. And Brad, hit me with them plugs.
Well, as always, we want to thank Sugoi Mart for partnering with us. Sugoi Mart's a retailer of Japanese snacks, drinks, toys, and merch that you can't get outside of Japan. Our listeners can click the link in the description or use code APR15 at checkout to get 15% off their first order. And we want to hear from you, so hit us up on social media, which you can find links for on our website, animepodcasterreincarnation.com. You can also find posts for these episodes where you can leave comments, or you can join us on our Discord and talk to us directly there about these episodes, as well as lots of other fun conversations we have up there. And don't forget to check out our Patreon, where our supporters get perks like getting to vote on which series we cover on heroin addiction, bonus episodes, as well as getting the high-quality stereo version of the podcast early. And, of course, we have to shout out our patrons. So first and foremost, at our noble tier, we have our marquee Sir Cake Dwarf.
Da, 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 da.
At our reincarnator tier, we've got Moon. And last but not least, at our commoner tier, we've got Rena and Kill Hour. So thank you so much to all our patrons.
Thank you, Brad, for that. Thank you, everybody, again, for listening. Make sure you listen to all the different podcasts on our feed. And, oh, gosh. Brad, do you know a lawyer? Now that we've done Beastark, Mr. Beast is trying to sue us for copyright infringement.
Oh, shit. Song as old as time.
Some other words I've heard a million times but don't remember.
Rhyme.
Rhyme.
Angela Lansbury.
I can only mostly do Gaston. Who does she think she is? That girl is tangled with the wrong man. No one says no to Gaston. Dismiss, rejected, publicly humiliated. Why, it's more than I can bear. More beer? What for? Nothing helps. I'm disgraced. Gosh, it disturbs me to see. And now I'm getting distracted.
I don't know any of
Looking so down in the dumps.
that other guy's lines.
Every guy here loved to be you, Gaston LeFou, even when taking your lunch. Whatever. Let's start. The squirrel. Lizzie, what am I doing? I've written The Heath Agrees. Or what's the... Oh, shoot, what old cartoon or old children's show had there's like a flashback noise they would use? I can vaguely hear it in my ear, but I can't hear it enough to recreate it. It's like... It's like... It's something from the 90s. It'll hit me later. Okay. Bye. I mean, you'll probably do the transition when I go or any of the other number sounds. Oh no, I think I'm thinking of Arthur. When they would change scenes, they played like a certain. I think it's Arthur.
Oh, when it's like.
Yeah. Yeah, but my mouth can't make those noises.
Yeah. I hate that.
It's like a digital calliope.
When you can hear exactly the thing in your head.
That's why I can't act in the things that I write, because the voices in my head are not the sounds I can make out of my mouth. Yeah. But when it's somebody else, there's at least plausible liability that they don't know what the inside of my head is. And they could also bring something else to it. So, yeah.
And don't forget to check out our Patreon. And don't forget...
You've done this a billion... How many episodes... What episode is this? Isn't this like almost... This is over 50 now, isn't it?
Specifically for Shonen Jumping the Gun?
Yeah.
We passed 150 episodes.
Total. But like specifically Shonen Jumping the Gun, that's the boilerplate you read. You've read it at least 50 times. Much like me, you're getting worse.
Check us out on Patreon.
I thought about what the ending gag is, and I didn't come up with one because I didn't want something too silly because I liked this, and it's something beast related. Because the next one's a bonus. So okay, unpause, pause. Let's do it.
I think there's a beast lawyer in Odd Taxi.